Okay, now that we finished the passive reconnaissance, now we will move on to the active reconnaissance. Okay. As discussed previous video, we said that during active and passive reconnaissance, we're not supposed to touch or interact with the target system, right? We will only use publicly available sources, right? So now let me go ahead and check. We go to active reconnaissance. Active reconnaissance, we will directly engage, direct engagement. Active reconnaissance involves direct interaction with the target infrastructure. Like we'll probe the defense, identify open services, what services they're using, what services are open, what ports they're open, okay, what IP, all this detail, ports, open ports, what closed port they have, okay. And this must only occur within the authorized scope, okay. As discussed in the previous video, we can only do this with the authorized IP or the domain that we were provided, okay. Port scanning is the first step, okay. Here, why we do port scanning, because we want to know what are the open ports available on this device. That's the main goal of port scanning. That's why we need, because if we know what ports are open, we will be able to access or get initial access to the victim using some vulnerability. Like maybe this open port is actually SMB, okay, or this service, or what services are available, right? What active services, and we can also identify the operating system version or operating system itself, whether it's Windows, Linux. All this can be identified using the port scanning. Okay, that's the purpose of port scanning. Okay, check open ports, active services, and operating systems. Second is banner grabbing. Extract precise software versions from open ports. Okay, and banner grabbing. Okay, we will be able to find that, and this directory brute forcing. We will uncover hidden files, backup directories, and admin panels. Okay, like basically, yeah. And network mapping, trace route. Okay, so all these things, okay, we're going to do it practically, okay, but I want us to start practically. Actually, we will focus on two tools, specifically Nmap and mass scan. Not Nmap and mass scan, because this is the most important tools, and we're going to touch briefly on the other tools. Okay, so yeah, let me, for example, open this one here. Okay, Kali. Okay, now that I have to perform this, actually you need to have let me just remove this one. Okay, clear this one. You need to have you need to install one more PC, or you can also use Metasploitable. This is an intentionally vulnerable system, okay, that is designed, that is intentionally, they opened some, they make it vulnerable for us to test, okay. You can download it from here, from Metasploitable. I downloaded it from vulnweb.com. Vulnhub, actually, sorry, it's Vulnhub, I think, vulnhub.com. Okay, you can type here Metasploitable, and you can download this one. We have 1 and 2. Okay, you can download either, it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, this is latest, and this is a little bit older. Okay, you can download one and just run it. Once you download it, you just have to open the file that you downloaded and run this one, VMX extension, Metasploitable. It will open for you automatically. The username and password is actually MSF admin. I'm using Metasploitable 1. Okay, later on we might use 2, and it has 3 also. This is the username and password. Then you can find its IP by using this command ifconfig. Okay, this is the IP 192.168.238 and 133. Okay, make sure they're both on the same network. Okay, and now let me go ahead and do testing. Okay, I'm going to use the tool called netdiscover first. Okay, so basically what I will do is I'm just going to test the entire subnet. Okay, this is -r 192.168.238. Yeah, I'm doing this from inside the network actually. Okay, I want to know what are the list of IPs available inside the network. I'm just going to use this command sudo kali. Okay, it's going to give me all the IPs available inside this network. Netdiscover, this is one command. Now we have 4, right? So we know that 1.133 is our target, right? Okay, this is one way to scan the network. Okay, best way, the better way, there is Nmap. Okay, most used and best way. We can just use -sn. Okay, and type 192.168.238.0.24. Okay, again it's going to scan all the IPs on this network and give it to you here. Okay, but the problem here with this command is we don't know. Okay, it doesn't give me any operating system details, or like if I for example do this, let me show you again. Nmap sn 192.168.238.0.24. Okay, let's say I did this. Okay, the issue here is I don't know which one is my target. Okay, we already know because we had a look at the IP, right? But let's say we didn't look at the IP. Okay, we don't know which is the target machine. Okay, so what this command is not going to help me because it's not giving me any details about the operating system, okay, or the services or anything. Okay, so there is a command that I can use, nmap s, okay, a, okay, or sh, just to see what each command will do, so we can understand it. So we can understand all the options. We'll spend more time on this because this is the most important, actually, most used tool here. So for host discovery, okay, we will use here port specification and scan. Script scan service or version detection, we have here SV, okay, probe open port determine the service and version info, okay, and OS detection, this is what we need, right? We can just go down here. OS detection is -O, enable OS detection, okay, and this is what we need, okay, right now. So what can I do? From what I understand, I'm going to go ahead and map. Let me clear this one first. Okay, I'm going to type here nmap -O, okay, and I'm going to type 192.168.138.0/24. okay, so -O will give me the operating system. But this is going to take some time, so I'm going to pause the video. So you can see now the no. So the scan is done. Okay. It's actually stuck. Okay, so now that we know we've run the command -o, okay, -o here, it's just going to tell you the operating system. It's going to add the operating system, okay, like here Microsoft Windows and stuff like that, okay, like here the victim's machine, we can go to the victim's one, which is here, right? It's telling you Linux kernel 2.0. Also is going to give you a list of open ports. Okay, you can see here, if you go inside, you can see, let me just minimize this one. Okay, let me go here inside this one. See, all these ports are open in the target's PC. See, this is useful information for us because we can use it to exploit the system or PC or server. Okay, here also there's mentioned the service. FTP is used for file transfer. It's not secure. It's SSH also is used for communication between two devices, but it's secure. Telnet, it's communication, also same, used for communication between two devices, but it sends traffic and plain text, so it's not secure. So all these details are useful for us, for hackers, right? But we need more. This is not enough because FTP could have many different versions, right? SSH could have many different versions. Telnet has a lot of versions also. So we need the specific exact version so we can search online for any vulnerability and exploit it and stuff. So how we can get that? It's very simple. All we have to do is just, let me just remove this one. All we have to do that is just clear this one, okay? And type nmap -sv, okay, 192.168.238, and the target machine. That's it. This is the command sv. Okay, it's going to give me the version for each of the services that are open with open ports. Okay, yeah, done. So you can see here, for example, it gave me FTP. Okay, the state is open, the service, and the version. You can see the version here. This is the most important information we need. We can use Pro FTPD, right? We can check online, for example, for Pro FTPD 131 vulnerabilities, right? And go search for that. Or SSH, the version is OpenSSH 4.71. Telnet, Linux, all this version information for HTTP, Apache HTTPD 228. So all this can be exploited actually. Okay, we can check it. There are vulnerabilities available. Okay, we can try, or methods we can use. Like for example, let's see Pro FTPD 131. Okay, you can go online here, for example. Okay, now that we know the version, we can check online for exploitability, for any vulnerabilities available. Right? Okay. vulnerabilities. For example, you can check. It has many vulnerabilities, like you can check online, okay, see the vulnerability. You can go to exploit DB, okay, to see if there are any exploits here. Okay, you can see this one. It will give you also informations about the CVE, and yeah, you can try to exploit it, right? Okay, this is why we need the version, why we get the specific version. Okay, and the next step is, let's say we want you to do both SV. We can use SV, and we can also use O for the operating system information. Okay, or we can just use A which is aggressive, and you can use both. Okay, it's basically, it combines the -O and the SV and many other stuff as well. Okay, 192.168.1.238.133 command. Okay, it's going to give you many informations. Okay, so this is all the information we got. Okay, -A is very aggressive, but it will give you a lot of details. Like, for example, it gave you here details and gave you additional details also, like cipher, the service details. The operating system also will be OS and service detection performed. Okay, you see this one, OS and service detection performed. Okay, so it did that with one command instead of using SV and SA. Okay, but it's aggressive. And there is one more thing we need to talk about: Nmap -T. Okay, basically this is the intensity. Okay, you have to always make sure to use T4 or less. Okay, if you put T5 or T6, it's going to be more aggressive than this. It's going to be detected easily by antivirus or others. Like, you can go here, for example, T here, T set the timing template. Higher is faster. The higher the T value is, the faster, but it's also noisy. Okay, so it's 0 to 5. Make sure to use less than 4 or 4 if possible. Okay, so we can use here TP, T4. Okay, and we can use S. This is SynScan, stealth SynScan. Okay, so we can perform this one, T4 192.168. Good. 238.133. Okay, and we can define the port actually, -P here, and you can say check port 80 and port 443 only. Okay, so it's only going to check 2 ports or 1 port, just port 80, because we know port 80 exists. We don't know if 443 exists. Let us check this one. See how fast it was? Only it gave me the details for port 80 HTTP. Okay, you can, let's say you want to check all the ports available, then you will use this command, -P. It will take a long time. Okay, let's say, and there is more. Yeah, so basically this is it. Let me go ahead and open the PowerPoint. Security Bootcamp, to see if we missed anything. And there is one more tool I want to talk about for scanning, and we will conclude the session. So we have talked about Nmap, active scanning. Yes. So Nmap, we've talked about host discovery, okay, which is just -sn. We've talked about, we didn't talk about stealth SYN scan. SS, S small letter and capital letter. Okay, this is only used for to be stealthy, to prevent detection. Okay, and we have also SB. This is for version. We already talked about it. P, which will check all the ports, full port sweep. We'll check all the available ports, which is 6,000, I think 65,000, something like that. All the ports. Okay, it will take so long time. And this one, script vulnerability, it's going to check available vulnerabilities, check vulnerabilities. Okay, and use the OA file name to save results in all formats. Use T4 for speed. Avoid T5 on production because T5 is very noisy. Should never use T5. Okay, to restrict, use IL. You can use it with the list of target list. Remember I told you, like, you have to make sure that you are scanning only the IPs that you're allowed to scan. Okay, you can just put those IPs in a list in a TXT file like this, and just use -IL so that it will restrict scans to authorized IPs instead of randomly scanning everything like what we were doing just now. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, we have one more tool, Nabu also, and mass scan. Okay, also will do the same thing. So I think we should try that also. Okay, but let's me try script VSC. Let me see here, script and map. Script equals to vol. Okay, it's going to do 192.168. 238.133, right? Let's check the script. This is going to check for vulnerabilities. Okay. Okay, basically that's it. And Nabu, we will try one more time Nabu. Okay, this is and mass scan is used for speed. Okay, if you want something that's very fast, port scanner, okay, you can use mass scan. Okay, yeah, you can use mass scan. Okay, you can define the ports here. Okay, but you have to make sure to use to limit the rate, because it could actually use many packets. You can use rate 1000 here. You can go here. I put some guidelines for mass scan here, like default rates can float the local network, drop packets, use this rate. So this is always useful to tone, or yeah, like make it rate 1000 or less. Okay, provide explicit targets. Okay, yeah, and define the port, explicit port, like this one, better, and save the results. Yeah, like this command, for example. You can use this command to scan to use mass scan, basically. Okay, but this is going to take too much time, so I'm going to stop this one. Let's go ahead and clear this one. Clear. Okay, there is mass scan to type H. So basically I'm going to define port 80, for example, and I'm going to say my IP is 192.168.1. 238 and dot 133, right? And I'm going to say the rate here, make it is equals to, you can make it 10,000 or 1,000, whatever. The less is better. Okay, use sudo and type the password. So it's going to scan this port, okay, for this IP. Okay, if you have multiple PCs or multiple vulnerable servers, you can use it to scan a subnet or something like that. Okay, it's very fast. Okay, like you can scan even like this. You can put, if you remove this one, you can put 0, you can put 24. Okay, let it scan everything. So it's going to scan everything for port 80. It's going to give you. So that's the idea of active scanning, and I hope this video was informative. And next we're going to use we're going to talk about enumeration. Actually, this is the next video we're going to talk about enumeration.